My name is Evie Shockley. I'm the Zora Neale Hurston Distinguished Professor of English here at Rutgers. And Cheryl was the person who inspired me, hired me, and mentored me through the first two-thirds of my career. Our offices were right across the hall from each other for about 10 years. And the first 10 years of my time at Rutgers. And so she mentored me when she didn't even know it, just by the conversations with students that I could overhear, the humor and patience that she brought to conversations with them and with colleagues. I was able to just absorb from listening how to be, so to speak. She also mentored me in the many conversations, the times when I walked across that hall, knocked on her usually open door and asked her, I got this invitation, I'm really busy, should I take it, should I not take it? I was asked to be on this committee, is this a good use of my time? She was able to help me navigate all kinds of professional questions, as well as, questions related to teaching. Am I being too understanding? Am I being taken advantage of? Or am I being too hard? Are my expectations unreasonable? She was always just an amazing barometer for the kind and the rigorous way to be in the profession and in the classroom. I mean, her influence on me was much more related to my work as a literature scholar. That's what I was hired to do, and that's what most of my teaching at Rutgers is involved in, and certainly my mentoring in the graduate program. And those were the spaces in which she and her example inspired me. But boy, was she a huge supporter of my poetry. I mean, I respected her opinion about what I was doing so much because she was a preeminent critic of the tradition that I was contributing to or am contributing to. When I think about tradition in relation to Cheryl, in one sense, I'm thinking about her work as one of the preeminent scholars of African American literature and the way she embodied that by centering everything she did, whether it was about that that critical work around African American literature or about larger, broader issues in the profession or in the department at the university. That was always her, like, center, and what she did came out of what she learned as someone studying the work of people like Zora Neale Hurston and Alice Walker and Toni Morrison and, Ralph Ellison and so on and so forth. So the values that she upheld and sort of that I feel like I am charged by myself, if no one else, with carrying on while I'm holding the chair that she founded would include, I mean, it's a tradition of excellence, of generosity, of rigor, and collegiality, um, a tradition of, feeling responsible to something beyond career, to the people that you work with, that you teach, the community here in New Brunswick, and the larger metropolitan area that Rutgers is a part of. Cheryl being from New York, her sort of sense of the purview of this school included the whole tri-state area and in a really grounded way. And so I try my best to follow in her footsteps with that. When I think about who she was here on campus, one of the things that I go back to is the year that she received the Daniel Gorenstein Award. It's an annual honor, but it's awarded to just one professor in the whole university system, I believe. And so that awardee gives a lecture, and the room was packed. It was standing room only. And I just remember being so glad that I had the presence of mind to come early enough to get a seat, and just so overjoyed to see how many of the people, faculty, students, staff, um, who respected her and wanted to be there to celebrate and to hear what she had to say. She gave a lecture on Ellison, whose work she was thinking about in conjunction with her book on African American essays, and we were getting a sneak peek of the book that was still a couple of years out, and so, or more than a couple of years out. We were all delighted to be there, and it was just such a the room was just buzzing with that energy and love and respect that she generated. I mean, her work as an editor on the Norton Anthology of African American Literature is still in place, let's say. The edition that she helped co-edited, is still being taught all across the nation and probably beyond. So there's that broad way that her work on Black literature is still shaping students at every level. Then I think there is also a way that the mentoring that she did of graduate students here at Rutgers and of the Cheryl Wall postdocs, that we have a good 15 plus years of coming through, usually a couple at a time, from other institutions or from the early stages of their career pre their first job. The mentoring that she did with those students and postdocs is impacting students elsewhere now across the nation as they go off and get their jobs or continue their jobs at um, at other institutions across the country. Her scholarship on Hurston is still go-to. Her work on the Black feminist tradition, we just celebrated as a department and community here at Rutgers the 20th anniversary of her book Worrying the Line, which is all about Black women's literary tradition. And you know the the many different ways, methods, approaches that she models for us in that book, we saw that sort of excavated by the group of us who all sort of took a chapter and talked about it. That book is still out there moving and shaping scholars and contributing to the conversation. I'm never surprised when I see her work cited by the newest books that are coming out in the field. Um, I mean, she's going to have a long, long, long shadow, very bright shadow, if you will. Cheryl's career was, in her way of mentoring, was always about the future. The retirement celebration that we had planned for her, which in the event became more of a memorial, she insisted, because she helped in the planning of the original event, she insisted that it be focused on the future. So that's what she really values. And this fellowship is represents a boost of confidence, a vote of support, and a financial boost to students who are at a really crucial moment in their work as graduate students. Um, I don't think it can be overstated how much that kind of that the honor of that and the relief, frankly, in these very financially trying times, that influx of cash and that sort of stamp of approval, that CV line, what that means for a student who is really in the process, like right in the process of trying to establish a voice, a research agenda for the long term. Um, I don't think we can underestimate what this fellowship means.